I saw Chappelle, Dave Chappelle, live. I didn't see him in person. I saw his show on the weekend, and fuck, it was just the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. My dear friend Greeley got me tickets because he knew I was down. I didn't want to go. I haven't been until that show. I don't think I had actively avoided all live shows and all stand-up comedy videos because I just couldn't look at it because it made me fucking sad. So it was a great one to start back up again with. Okay, we went to Chappelle and man, it was at Rod Laver Arena. It was 15,000 people. He performed in the center, and he is just the best. And it is so fucking obvious. People go, "What was it like?" And I can't even say that it was funny. It obviously was funny, but I can't even go, it was hilarious. I've seen hilarious comedy before. I've seen amazingly funny. Chappelle's just different. He's just the fucking greatest, and it's so obvious. And that, to me, is the only way that I can fucking explain it, is that the entire time I was watching him, I was going, holy fuck. That's incredible. And so were all of his openers. Donnell Rawlins, who I actually hadn't heard of. I think he's before my time. I hadn't heard of. He's older guy. Amazing. Fucking hilarious. And then Jeff Ross as well. He got up and he did this amazing bit about the Queen fucking Prince Philip to death, which is right up my alley. Another act that I can't remember. Sorry, brother. You were good. And then Chappelle got up, and it was phenomenal. Go see him if you can. But I think what the coolest thing about the whole show was what happened immediately before Chappelle got on stage, and then what happened after when Grilly and I were walking home, which I'll tell you about after. The coolest thing about it was he just set the tone, right? They had a live DJ who's ready to see Chappelle, pumping music, mixing up Kanye beats, which is cool and kind of funny. And then before he gets up, the entire arena turns red. And like sick custom visual intro visuals and music start playing on all the screens and all this kind of stuff. And it just reminded me that, like, fuck, that's what your show should be. And I always try to do that at my shows, even no matter how small it is, no matter how big it is. I try to make it a fucking experience. You know, I think it's like a real lame thing about Australian comedy in particular is I feel like so many comedians are up there apologizing for thinking they're good enough to be on stage. And it's this weird energy of telling jokes, but, it's okay, they're just lame jokes. And, you know, instead of having like cool walk-on music or someone to announce you on, or like a sick custom track to play or visuals, they just announce, well, welcome to the stage, me. And it's lame. And I think it comes from this like tall poppy syndrome that we have in our culture, where it's like, if you say that you're good, that means you think you're better than me, and that makes you my enemy, which is not what it is. If I'm saying that I'm good, especially to an audience of people that have paid good fucking money to be there and spent time and maybe taken work off early or gotten babysitter for the kids, or, you know, fucking tricked their mum into thinking that it's a PG rated show so they can go with their friends, you know, I'm going to go, yeah, it's going to be fucking good because I know it's good because I've worked on it and I'm here to give you a fucking sick night. That's my attitude going into every show and walking on. I want it to be fucking electric when I get on. And that's what he did in just like the most badass fucking way that you can really only do in an arena. Lights and music and live DJs and everything like that. And it was so fucking cool. And it just made me go, oh yeah, if you want to get really, really, really fucking good, you got to leave this country and go to where the stand-up is, right? Because every single opening act was the best comedian that I've ever seen. And they just got better and better and better. And then it was Dave Chappelle. It was just amazing. But the coolest thing about his intro was before he got on stage, the Netflix loading thing and the Netflix N came on, and then the title of his new special was on there. And I thought that was so fucking badass, because that meant that he hasn't even fucking filmed the show that he was performing for us, but it has a name and it has a Netflix special already, which is just only some Dave Chappelle shit. You know, it's like, oh, I'll sell you 5 specials. How many do you have? None. But I'm fucking Dave Chappelle, so whatever you get's gonna be good. And it was amazing. He didn't do any trans stuff at all, really. He kind of just addressed that he wasn't going to be talking about it, which I thought was cool and refreshing. And it also seemed like he seemed to enjoy that too. So I think the whole trans thing with Dave Chappelle was, obviously he did his jokes and then controversy was caused, and he responded to the controversy, which caused more controversy. So he responded to that, which caused more controversy. So he responded to that, and which caused more controversy. And then it kind of started to die down a little bit, and it's not so fucking egregious and insane that he has to respond to it. He has other things. He can just talk about, you know, tell stories and jokes and stuff. And man, I don't want to rave too much on about it because it's somebody else's show, but fuck, it was good. Almost as good as what happened after.